Hello everyone and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Today I'm going to be explaining how to make off your money in Elite Dangerous when you just start off. Now, this is definitely not your starting system and I'm not entirely close to it. I'm actually over 100 light years away over in Britsamino. And our friend might join us. So I was messaging. Now, if you're wondering why I haven't uploaded many videos, it's because shortly before I was planning to upload, I sprained my ankle by falling off a skateboard. Now, it's not serious, but it still hurts. So I'm going to be on crutches for a while. I fell off yesterday. Should be fine, though. Now, of course, you're going to start off on your sidewinder with hardly anything, and the first thing you're going to want to do is earn yourself a rebuy, because if you can't, you're going to end up starting over and over. What a rebuy is if you die, you're going to need a rebuy to get your ships back. Now, a rebuy varies between what ship you have, the upgrades. For example, my rebuy, since this is an ASP with 12 million poured into it, my rebuy is 712,000. So, as you can see, my balance is 36 million, and I have way more than I need. I can die many, many times and rebuy this. Your rebuy, I believe, is around 1,000 when you start. Or is it like 2,000 when you start? I can't remember. But what I'm going to do is just walk you through the steps on how to make sure you earn enough money to be successful and just how to be successful. And as you know, Elite Dangerous is one of those games where it makes you not feel important. You're just one ship out of millions. And it's very much like the real world. It's harsh, you can die a lot, and that's what partially makes it fun, you know? Man, that guy's a good pilot with the Viper over there. Jeez. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is get out of the starting system, and I would not recommend super cruising over to the station you start in, mainly because it is 71,000 light seconds, and you will run out of super cruise full instantly. You'll have to refill using a jump bar. The starting system is not advisable either because it has none of those missions that give you high money. It's not worth it to go back and forth. So the first place I'd suggest is to go to a spot with an RES, and I happen to know one that's one jump away. Should be like 9 light years from your starting station. I overshot entirely. The name of it is Aerovate, and I will show that to you in a map in a second as soon as I dock. And it's a bit of a long haul. You have to be patient in that system unless you want to find a different one, and I already have a few. So Aerovate is way over here. It used to be my home. This is Aerovate right here. It's Federation space right next to where you start, LHS 3447. If I go here to Aerovate and pop in the system map, a great spot to store your ships is over here in Russell Ring. Cleve Hub isn't the best. Ackerman's alright, because you're going to want it to travel between here and here. Now, the reason I say you're going to be traveling between Aerovate 10 and Ackerman, maybe a little bit of long haul, depends what station's closer. These don't really supply you with enough ammo, fuel, repairs. They could do fuel and rarely repairs, but none. So I prefer you go to these bigger stations, and it'll make your life a whole lot easier. The reason I say Aerovate 10 is because it has rings, and although it's kind of long haul, 2,000 light seconds, if you travel there, there are these things called resource extraction sites, and the reason those are very, very handy is that if you drop into them, you're pretty much guaranteed to find a bunch of people with bounties on them, and the bounties can vary between 36,000 or less and all the way up to 1 million or 500,000. I've only seen 1 million in AIs, and I'd prefer you do it in a solo play so that a bountied player or a bounty hunter player will not wreck you. And that's typically what I did. I either did a private group or solo. I've rarely gone online unless I'm board hopping for missions, but don't do the resource extraction sites yet because you're going to have a flimsy sidewinder. What are you going to do? Now, you could use tactics that other YouTubers use and have put forth, and that would be using the police to start shooting the bounty, which you have to follow, but you have to follow the people with bounties, and then when the police shoot and lower shields and health, then you shoot the last shot and you get the bounty. Now, it works. Not gonna blame them. It works. But using a sidewinder for that is not recommended. It has a terrible jump range and everything. It's just, no. So, you need to raise money first, and you can do that by going to the mission board. There should be fairly easy missions, and easier ones would be boom data deliveries. Now, boom data deliveries, you're going to want to check, because sometimes you have to super cruise a pretty long way before you get anything. Because I did a boom data delivery mission, and it had me super cruise 213,000 light seconds, and it took me around 30 minutes to reach my destination. It wasn't fun. So as you can see, boom day deliveries are 37,000. So if you can stack those missions and go jumping around. When you go to get your ship, let me put in the hangar, you're going to want to aim for the Eagle. So you keep doing missions to get 44,000 and you can buy an Eagle. However, you're going to want much, much more than that. You're going to want, I'd say, over 400k or so, because the outfitting on this, you're going to want, because you have to update the weapons, frame shift drive, engines, thrusters, power plant, power distributor, so on and so forth. And it can get extremely expensive. A fully tipped out Eagle, of course, with weaponry added, is around $1 million. I'm not kidding. I bought an Eagle and it cost $1 million for full outfitting. And I mean, I had around $2 million at the time, and it chewed my budget up entirely. And the rebuy was around 250k. Wasn't really the best. So as you can see, if you go to the mission board, you can grab your missions. Boom day deliveries are amazing. If you have cargo space, go ahead, pull on out those source and return. Well, not source and return, because those are terrible. Boom time delivery of these. Mining rush isn't the best either. So boom day deliveries, boom time deliveries, day delivery. Do not do the salvage or source and return. The salvage will make you jump in and out of a different distress beacons or degraded emissions just to find what you need, and then you have to bring it back, and that can be pretty tedious. So some return missions require you to go to a station, buy those things, and bring it back. And I tried doing one of those. I took 2 days and I couldn't find anything. And I mean 2 days total I put in those hours. Assassination, they pay a lot, okay, and haven't I already killed this guy? And they pay a lot, but you're going to want to be an experienced dogfighter, because some of them require to fight the person alone, which are lower paying, and these higher ones that pay around $500,000, they're going to want you to work with others to kill. Now, I had a keelback with a fighter, which requires horizons, and I tried to take out a ship with, it was a federal assault ship for assassinating, and I had federal friends with me. Not friends, but AIs. And they were with me, and I got my canopy destroyed, my fighter got destroyed, my hull is at 13%, so very dangerous. Now, these are high-paying missions, they're good, but you gotta have that cargo space. 30, 30, 54, 36. And for that, I'd recommend a Type 6 or a hauler, etc. Hauler is the lower entry. Now, boom day delivery is amazing. Once you've raised around 500k, now go to the shipyard and buy yourself an Eagle. Which I'm going to do here. Do not want to sell my ASP. Once you buy yourself your Eagle, you're going to head into outfitting. Now, just one thing you need to know about your Sidewinder, when you're traveling to do those boom day deliveries, get a fuel scoop. Forgot to mention that earlier. Get a fuel scoop or you will run out of fuel instantly. Because the Sidewinder's jump range is terrible, fuel tank is terrible. Now, Eagle, fuel tank's a little better, as you can see down there. Just watch where my mouse was. If you go down to that area, the fuel tank's bigger. Now, let me explain something. The top thin bar, that's just a straight bar, that's your Super Cruise fuel. And you can, as long as you have Super Cruise fuel, you're fine. If the little studded bar or thick bar on the bottom runs out, okay, but make sure you have that top bar. But if you run out of the bottom bar and top bar, you're out of fuel. It's terrible. Don't worry when you're super cruising if your top bar runs out. As long as you have at least one stud or a bit of the line in the bottom thicker bar, your super cruise fuel and thrust fuel will be replenished. And that scared me before because I had no idea what it was. Don't sweat it, it's fine. So now that we have our Eagle, we have to head into outfitting. If you're going to be hunting in a resource extraction site, first thing you're going to want are hardpoints. It comes equipped with 2 fixed pulse lasers, but they're all small, and it's okay, I guess. What I would recommend doing is flipping the top one to a multi-cannon that's gimbaled. Fixed, you'd have to pull lead, and it gets very confusing. So if you get the multi-cannon here, take a gimbaled one, because that chews through their hull. And this is actually very key. Do not use your multi-cannon when the hostile's shield is up. I mean, you can, but it's not very effective. Sorry, my friend is messaging me. And now, when you go to replace the 2 bottom ones, take beam lasers easily. You can take fixed ones, and it has great damage, but you gotta watch your power, which we'll fix that in a sec. We're gonna go into overload because we haven't fixed our, what you call it. You're gonna put them with fixed beam lasers. My friend has just messaged me. Hold up, I'm doing a vid. Yes, I traveled. Alright. Okay. So under core internal, what you're gonna want is armor. Now this can chew your budget, as you can see. It will kill it. But you're gonna want the reactive surface composites because they mostly do kinetic, and that's what you're gonna worry about with players, is that they're gonna chew you up with the multi-cannons. So this will help prevent being instantly chewed up. Now the eagle, you have to play carefully because the hull on this is terrible. It's not very strong. You're gonna get ripped apart in 2 seconds with a single multi-cannon. So you gotta keep those shields up. Now 2A power plant is very needed because, I mean, look how much extra power you have, and you're gonna need that for equipping thrusters. Note that when you buy an Eagle, it has serious power issues, along with the Viper Mark III, Cobra Mark III, and the Vulture. The Vulture is a bit of less of a problem because you don't really need thrusters and stuff. So now you have these two. You're going to want to go for, I'd say, a 3D thruster. If you didn't know, D actually increases your jump range and it's lighter. It's better than the E's. Just going to exchange that. Frame shift drive, you have that $500,000, do it. But if you just want a 3D, or you don't really have that much money to spend, 3D, 3C is amazing, but I'm going to do 3A because I need that jump range. It's 16 light years, and that's hardly anything. It's good, but it's hardly anything. Now, life support. You can do D if you want, but if you're an Aerovate and you have super long super cruise times between two points, go with A, because if you only have D, you will suffocate before you reach a station. That's why I do A. I don't have to because I'm not in Aerovate. Now I know different areas which I'll go over later that are great for resource extraction site hunting, but that's going to be later. Power distributor, always go for the A. They don't have an A, but okay, boo. You always go for an A because it'll let you keep weapons fire longer and boost longer. Now here are your sensors. Any of these work. You can keep 2E. I would recommend going with D because it boosts your jump range by a little. Fuel tank, if you can, get another because fuel tank on this isn't the best. Empty military compartment. I typically don't use these, but you're gonna want these with heat sinks, or else your shield will die if you're not experienced. Hull reinforcements you're gonna want for the package. Top pack is 36,000. As my insurance cost is slowly approaching 50K. And we've done all we can in here, so now up to optional internal. You do not need cargo racks if you're going to be hunting. You're going to be getting stuff, but you don't need it. Your shield generators, you can change, so I can take a shield, not shield cell bank. And planetary vehicle hand, you need horizons. Yes, you can fit it on an Eagle. Shield generators, I would say go for the A, and that's pretty much $500,000 right there, and it puts my power into a bad spot. So I'm gonna go with C. It's a bi-weave, so it charges faster. Bi-weave is amazing. Just gonna say, unless it's a vulture. Vulture with bi-weave is essential. But if it's with a smaller, then you're gonna want to go with a regular non-bi-weave. So next from there, I would say take a fuel scoop, because it's essential for traveling. You don't have to do 2A necessarily, but it's extremely quickly. I'm going to go 2B because, hey, why not? Discovery scanner you don't need to worry about unless you're exploring. Then, I mean, you can buy, find it. You could, the intermediate's okay, but typically I say for advanced because it's just jump in, scan, go. But we're not doing exploring, so I'm not going to worry about the discovery scanner. But you're going to want to have one or else you can't see stars or anything while traveling. The last thing I would say you would want is an auto-field maintenance unit. And, I mean, it's not, you don't necessarily need it, but when your canopy breaks or it's damaged, you're probably going to want one. 1D is okay. Oh, wait, no, I can't have that, because we need one other thing. 2 other things, actually. We go to utility mounts, and there's only one utility mount, and from here, you don't need shield boosters unless you want your shields to live, but don't do this on an Eagle, because it'll rip everything up. You need a kill warrant scanner, and these don't really matter because the scan time's all the same. It's just all in the range and power draw. I will go with D because it has a bit of extra range, but what a kill warrant scanner allows you to do is scan the target and see if he has an additional bounty in a neighboring system. And it literally almost doubles your bounty, and it will give you so very much more money. Now, this is pretty much it fitted out. You don't need to worry about library or stored modules. These are, we don't really need to worry about how it looks unless you really, really want to customize it. Now that we're done, we have to set up the fire groups. Over here, I would recommend having the beam lasers as number 1 and multi-cannon as number 2. In the second fire group, you can use the basic subsidy scanner, kill warrant scanner, data link scanner all in one. Now, if you press U, it deploys your hard points, and I believe N is to switch. I haven't played this game in so very long. It's unreal. I've been stuck downstairs for a while. When you're fighting, you're going to want to manage your pips, such as pips in the systems for shields, pips in the engines for speed, and pips in the weapons so that your weapons can actually fire with energy in them. Now, when you're just traveling, I would say full pips to systems or full pips to engines and half pips to system. You don't really need anything for engines. As you can see, this ship is extremely fast and maneuverable. ASP, ASP, ASP. Stop it. Okay, so we're going to leave the station. Raise the landing gear. And this is a very capable ship, I'm just going to say. Now, as you're hunting, keep in mind that you're going to want to make sure and manage your shields. Once those go down, it's bad.
This is a traffic warning, Commander. Please make way for oncoming ships.
So our friend's online, but I'm not going to invite him yet until this video is done.
Control,
now, so you're going to want to jump into Super Cruise. Oh, that's locked. Super Cruise, and target the nearest resource extraction site. Of course, I'm not in Air 8. I'm not in anything near there. I am about 100 light years or so away from Air 8. I am in Britsamino, and I favor this place because it's pretty much just a heartbeat away if you want to go hunting. I just have to find the planet, and I'm just stupid at doing this. There it is. As you can see, we are extremely close to those resource extraction sites. I love it. Now, I never pick a resource extraction site that is in the shadow, or else it is impossible to see. Which means it's impossible to aim without gimbal. Just even to see your target, anyways. Compass is essential for figuring out where, especially if your cannon's cockpit's broken. You're going to want to manage that distance, speed, HUD, and alignment HUD, and also the compass, in case your canopy's broken, so that, you don't have your HUD, and compass and that stuff is essential. Now, when you're approaching, just keep your throttle in blue and it'll hold you at 6. Make sure you're not going too fast. Blah, 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 you already know. Now, we're about to jump into the RES. Anytime now. Game. Anytime. I don't need to worry about throttling down once I'm in full range. Now, let's drop out. And here we are. Now, resource extraction site, you're immediately going to see stuff pop up on your sensors. It could be far away. It could be anything. Travel to the beacon first, and you'll see more contacts pop up as you go. As you can see, there's a federal assault ship up there. These, I'm just going to say, are extremely dangerous. Never fight these on your own. Lucky for us, he's a federal agent, and since we're in Federate space, he's clean. Now, never fight these, because their shields go down, and you may think, aha, he's going to die. That's not the case. They tank hull. No kidding. Their hull is so powerful, I can't even kill it. Data storage full. I don't get it. I can't kill it, even with multi-cannons galore. Now you can press G to toggle between your targets, but for now we're going to fly in. Those little white flashes are people jumping in. There's a hauler, but typically haulers are not wanted. Keep an eye out for adders, federal assault ships, federal dropships, anacondas, federal corvettes, federal dropship, I think I already said that, federal gunship, all the federal ships. Keep an eye out for those Imperial Eagles, cutters, ASPs. You don't need to worry about cargo ships because they're typically not wanted. They're all miners. Keelbacks can sometimes be dangerous because they hold fighter bays. Now, typically they're used for mining by AIs, but I used to use a keelback for bounty hunting, believe it or not. Imperial Eagle. This is going to be harder to fight, especially since he's the more expensive, more competent version. He is wanted. Now, if you come over here to contacts, you can see his name is Dusty, and he's wanted for an 8,000 credit bounty. And it's not much if you're used to it. Do you have something good in your hold? No, I don't have any cargo hold. Now, what you need to do is switch all your powder weapons and half to systems. If your shields get lowered, switch all of them to systems, some to weapons. I'm sorry your children will go hungry, but you're gonna die tonight. So, who's Mavis? Is it this guy? Mavis. Where's that? That's probably the other. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is deploy your hardpoints by pressing U. Then switch your fire group by pressing N, unless you changed it. Then use your primary, unless you set it differently, to kill Warrant Scanner. Remember, he has about 8.3k on his head. Once it's done scanning, we'll check to see if it gave anything else. Kill Warrant Scan complete. He now is at 12,000 bounty. Federal Security's here. 2 Anacondas. We're lucky. We do not have to wait for them to engage unless you're not friendly with them. But since I'm friendly with them, I can go ahead and throttle up and engage at my discretion. Take the opening shot. And I see the beam lasers will rip through his shield. We just gotta make sure he doesn't hit us. Keep the throttle in that sweet spot, and just make sure you keep maneuvering. You can press Y, I believe, to target different subsystems, but it's good if you have gimbal. If you have fixed, make sure you aim for the spot. It's much harder with fixed, but I've learned to do it. You don't need fixed, but fixed has much more damage. Now, as you can see, the beam laser is currently tearing through his shields. It would go a lot faster if this was a larger target, and I had large beam lasers and the Vulture. Now, the Federals are currently kicking in, attacking him. You may occasionally find AI bounty hunters or other player bounty hunters in open, but typically, if you're in private play, there are hardly any other bounty hunters to be seen, except for Federal Security. Now, he's going to shoot at he has a fragment cannon. I don't know what his other weapons are. If it's only a fragment cannon, that's okay. To check what other weapons are, you can go over here and go to his tub targets. He has a frag cannon and 2 pulse lasers. Surprised he's not using them. Now that his shields are down, use that multi-cannon and it'll rip through his hull. Fortunately, this Viper ripped him apart. When you kill a bountied person, you can usually find materials. So a great way to look for engineers if you have horizons and the materials for them is by picking up materials after bounty hunting. There is Mavis. He's in an ASP scout. This is an easier target to hit, especially since he's larger. This will be our last target. He is wanted. He's probably going to have a bit of a larger bounty on him, if I'm not mistaken. He has 25,000. And it doesn't look like he equipped shields, so this may be an easy kill. Let's K1 scanner him, just to make sure that we aren't missing out on an extra 1,000 or so. K1 scans can be extensive, but definitely worth it. Yep, 42,000. This is a good target. Now, typically other targets have, I would say, 100k if it's a Viper. You can find much better hunting. Let's get a little closer and put those pips into engines, half the weapons. He looks like he's trying to escape. But I can't permit that. Now, what's funny is that he isn't firing back, and that's pretty uncommon. Now, if he goes to jump, you'll see friendship. Oh, he's trying to jump, the little booger. Keep firing everything. Season desist. Keep on him. Don't want to lose him. Keep that throttle in the blue zone, Paraboo. So I can't get him. I've scratched your paint. That may not be an issue. No, he jumped away! And if you had a lake scanner, you could follow him, but that's unfortunate. That could have been an extra 42k in the bank. Now, I'm going to end the video here with talking about the extra systems and other good ships that you can get. There's a system that's kind of far from Aerovate and far from where you could be. Its name is Brawny. You can search it up over in this tab. I don't think I have a bookmark. Whoops. Brawny. Nope, not Brano. Brawny, and it's spelled kind of weirdly. Here's Brawny. As you can see, I've been here way too many times. It is 66 light years away. Okay. I didn't think it was that close. Now, great array of little stations here, but you're going to be focused on over here. Brawny 13, because there are resource extraction sites galore. There's a station at the end that allows you to refuel. Hook Enterprise, it's okay. I think it allows you to repair. I don't remember. Let me see real fast. Oh, yes, it does. Refuel, repair. It does not have restock, so laser weapons would be key if you're going to be fighting here. It does have auto dock, tuning, power contacts. It's okay. You know, it's an okay station. It just doesn't have restock, so if you're going to restock, you have to fly quite a ways into over Akima Market. Good spot to be, but I have a better spot that I eventually discovered, and it is called Afra, and it's right here. And the reason I say it's amazing is because it has a high-tech station right here, Beckman Terminal. It's right next to a gas giant, and that gas giant is orbiting another gas giant. And these both have resource extraction sites. It is amazing. I have something similar to it, which is where I'm currently at, named Britsamino, which is way over here. This is basically my home. Home used to be Airvate. Over here, we go over here. Of course, you have your Feynman, which is where I live, basically. Britsamino 2, which is a gas giant with resource extraction sites. Another moon that's Britsamino 3, and then an orbiting gas giant, Britsamino 4. Actually, I think Britsamino 3 is the moon of this, and Britsamino's farther away, easily. And this is why I favor the system. I like, what's his name? I forgot the name of the one I just showed with Beckman. I just exited out. Afra. I like Afra a lot since it's closer and the moons are close together. Now, now you know the system's good ones to hunt in my opinion. About the ships now. Viper Mark III is good if you're just starting out, but I don't recommend it. People say the Viper Mark IV is worse, but in my opinion, I prefer that to the Viper Mark III. Now, it may reduce maneuverability, but it has a much bigger fuel tank, so you'll be able to travel at discretion. It's great multi-purpose, and for once, it does not have too bad. The power consumption isn't too bad. Oh, Python. So you can equip weapons, thrusters, whatever, and it's okay. You do it. He's clean. Dang it. Cobra Mark III, I do not recommend. It has serious power issues, and the up, down, left, right thrusters that are for maneuvering are just terrible. That's why I prefer the Eagle and Viper. Although Cobra's great for multi-purpose. The Vulture is great, okay? It has power issues, but you fit it with 2 large beam lasers. Gimbal, they're fixed better, but I know Gimbal's better because it's harder to aim. And you fix it, and you fit it with those. It is extremely overpowered. It's terrible at traveling. I'm just gonna mention, just terrible. But if you equip it correctly, it can be very lethal because of its huge shields. Federal assault ship, you get the money for that and the rank. Go ahead. I prefer a gunship because it has a fighter hangar. I would say go for... I don't know what to pick between the Fertile Lancer or Python. They both look amazing. They both are amazing. But in the end, I'd probably go with the Python. Anaconda, I would definitely choose over the Federal Corvette. Even though the Federal Corvette may have the firepower, its jump range is terrible. It's just not... It doesn't do it justice. Now, that's all I really have to talk about for this video. I hope you sincerely enjoyed. If you enjoy the rest of this content and you want to see more, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. And hopefully I'll be able to go bounty hunting in the next video. Other than that, that's all for me. And I will see you all in the next video.